Okay, we're going to talk about timers. Everybody should remember about timers from the first class. Okay, a little bit of a review and some new things. I'm going to talk about the type of timers you have. In Proficy, you've got 3 timers. You've got your on delay, got your off delay, and you have a third timer called a stopwatch timer. Okay? The on delays and off delays are just like what we've used before. Okay? Timing diagram is exactly the same as what we've had before. The stopwatch timer, it is an accumulation timer. You turn it on, it starts timing. You stop it, it retains that time. You start it again, it keeps timing some more. Stop it, it holds that time. It will continue to hold that time until you trigger a reset input on it and reset that count. Okay? Now I go over here and look at the timing diagrams. Okay. Now, you've got your timing diagram for your on delay and your off delay. The Q1 is an on delay. Q2 is your off delay. Okay? The input turns on. For an on delay, it begins the delay period. When the delay period expires, the output turns on. When your input turns off on an on delay, the output turns off. Okay? For an off delay, in this case Q2, the input will turn on, the output turns on. It will stay on, the input turns off, the output stays on until the delay expires. Okay? Nothing new there, right? Same as before. Now, when we're working with these, you set these up as functions. Okay? You've got some functions over here. I'm going to show you, this is how it looks inside Proficy when you're using them. You have a function block. Okay? You've got your timer block. This is your on delay timer. This is your off delay timer. Okay? On delay and off delay. You have an input. This is your power flow. The top part is your power flow in and power flow out. Okay? Over here you've got PV. This sets your timer, how long it wants to be. Okay? So if we have power coming in here, for instance, if I come along here and I put a set of contacts here, and those contacts are closed, we've got power and the timer will start working. Okay? In this case, it's an on delay timer. If the output over here will stay off until the timer expires. And once the timer expires, the output will turn on. Okay? The off delay, the same thing. You have an input, an output, and a PV or a preset value to set your timer value. Okay? Now the PVs. PVs are a simple number between 1 and 32,767. That's the number of counts you can put there. Okay?
Why 32767?
Why 32767?
Yeah.
Good question. Okay? We're going to get to that in a moment. Okay? You can actually put a 0 in there, but a 0 time means it will immediately transition from one to the other. Okay? 32767 is because it's a 16-bit word. It's a signed word. The maximum count you can put in there is 32,767. Okay? That's what we can represent, the maximum positive integer we can represent with 16 bits. Okay? So, let's say the time, I'm using tenths here, and I need a 5.2 second timer. Okay? 5.2 seconds. How many tenths is that? 5.2 seconds, how many tenths? 5.2 seconds divided by 0.1 second. Okay? Count of 52. Okay? You take the amount of time you need. Divided by your time base. Okay? And that's going to be equal to your PV. Your preset value is the time needed divided by the time base. What the heck is a time base? Well, if we look over here, you have 3 different time bases that you can use on your timers. Tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Okay? Those are the time base. 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. Okay? And in this case over here, what I did is I took 5.2 seconds divided by 0.1 would give me a count or a PV of 52. Okay? Now, there is a 1 second time base in there, but your nano micro PLCs don't have access to a 1 second time base. Everything you can do, you'll do with either the 0.1, the 0.01, or the 0.001 time base. Okay? Any questions so far?
How do you, where would I set the time base?
Okay, where do you set the time base? Right out here. We'll put the function on there, and over here there's a PV, and in this case we would write 52. I'll show you how we do that in a moment when I bring up Proficy. Okay? Now, you're going to need to define variables for each timer you use. Okay? We come down here. You're going to create a new variable, be a data type of word, okay, which is 16-bit. And you're going to define 3 words per timer. Okay? 3 words per timer, and you'll address it at the starting point, register 1, register 2, register 3. Okay? The first one is CV. CV is the current value. That's where your timer currently is. And we're going to be talking about this. You can do math. You have PV and CV. You can subtract your CV from your PV and you can calculate how much time you have left. Okay? CV is your current value, PV is your preset value, and the third one is a control word that you don't touch, you don't mess with, you leave that alone. This is for your PLC to do housekeeping with. Okay? Now, one of the things working with these timers, if you've got more than one timer, you can't address them register 1, register 2, register 3 for timer 1, timer 2, timer 3. You cannot do that. You have to register them in increments. Register 1, 2, 3. The next one is going to be 4, 5, 6. The next one is 7, 8, 9. You have to allocate that. I'm going to go through a procedure in a moment showing you how to set up your timers, and if you do it properly using Proficy, it will automatically assign the right numbers for you. Okay? Any questions on that so far? Okay? All right. Okay. Get this. This is your help file for Proficy, and you see it shows an example here. Example of the timer. It's showing CV. The CV is not shown on your function, but when you're connected to it, when you are connected to the PLC, the CD will show up in the middle of your block. Okay? If we look up here, you have your operand, data type. They're showing data types of R, P, L, and W. Okay? We're using one-dimensional word array of 3 words. I'll show you what that means. Word number 1, again, you'll see up there. Okay? Current value, preset value, and your control word. Okay? Now, you see the little comment down there below that? What is that comment below there?